Many people assume the Middle East because Genesis mentions the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, and those rivers flow in the Middle East. But this is a wrong assumption.
Somewhere beyond the reach of modern maps, beyond deserts and mountains, beyond the rise and fall of empires, the story of humanity begins. Not in a myth, not in a fairy tale, but in a place the Bible describes as a garden planted by God Himself. A paradise called Eden. When we hear the word Eden, many of us imagine a flawless paradise, crystal rivers, towering trees, perfect weather, and peace between man and nature. But Eden was not only a garden. According to the book of Genesis, Eden was the very meeting point between heaven and earth. It was where humanity took its first breath. It was where God walked with man. And so, the question has echoed through time, was Eden real? If so, where was it, and what became of it? The word Eden in Hebrew carries a meaning deeper than garden. It is often translated as delight or pleasure. That means Eden was not just a location on a map. It was an atmosphere of wholeness, joy, and life. It was the world as it was meant to be before pain, conflict, and death entered the story. But if Eden was real, surely it left traces on the earth. Surely it left fingerprints in rivers, valleys, and ancient memories. And indeed, Genesis gives us a description that is unusually specific. A river watering the garden flowed from Eden. From there it was separated into 4 headwaters. The name of the first is the Pishon, the second river is the Gihon, the third is the Tigris, the fourth is the Euphrates. Unlike vague mythological geography, the Bible names 4 rivers. These are not symbols. They are real rivers known to ancient peoples. The Euphrates and Tigris we can still see today, flowing through modern Iraq. But the other 2, the Pishon and Gihon, have puzzled scholars for centuries. If you look at a modern map, you won't find a single river dividing into 4. That doesn't match the geography. For generations, this caused confusion. But what if the text doesn't describe one river splitting into 4 streams? What if it describes 4 rivers that once met together, flowing from the same high land before spilling out into the world? Recent science may be pointing us in that direction. Genesis says the Pishon flowed through the land of Havilah, a land rich with gold and precious stones. For a long time, no known river fit this description. But then, satellite imaging revealed something astonishing. Beneath the sands of the Arabian Peninsula lies a massive ancient riverbed stretching hundreds of miles. Long ago, before the desert swallowed it, this river carried water through a fertile land rich in minerals. Archaeologists have found evidence of ancient settlements, mining sites, and even gold deposits. Some even note that the name Havilah echoes faintly in the ancient names of that region. Could this dried-up river have been the legendary Pishon? Many now believe so. The Bible describes the Gihon as winding through the land of Cush. For centuries, some assumed this referred to Cush in Africa, perhaps linked to the Nile, but that doesn't fit with the other rivers, which are all in the Middle East. Instead, some scholars suggest that Cush once referred to a region in modern-day Iran, near the Zagros Mountains. Here flows the Karun River, a powerful stream that empties into the Persian Gulf, in the same region as the other rivers. If so, the Gihon may have been the Karun, circling through fertile valleys that once supported ancient life. The other 2 rivers need no introduction. The Tigris and Euphrates have flowed for millennia through Mesopotamia, watering the cradles of Sumer, Akkad, Babylon, and Assyria. Empires rose and fell on their banks. To this day, these rivers remain lifelines for Iraq and Syria. What makes this remarkable is that in ancient times, all 4 rivers, Pishon, Gihon, Tigris, and Euphrates, emptied into the same basin, near what is now the northern Persian Gulf. This fertile land, now partly submerged beneath water and silt, may well have been the stage where Eden once stood. This convergence points us to a region known historically as Mesopotamia, meaning the land between the rivers. Archaeologists call it the cradle of civilization. Writing, agriculture, cities, and law all took root there. Could it be that the same land where humanity first advanced was also the land where humanity first walked with God? For many, the alignment is too strong to ignore. If Eden was real, why don't we see it today? Genesis tells us the reason. After the fall of man, God placed cherubim at the entrance to guard the way to the tree of life. Humanity could no longer return. Time, too, played its role. Rivers shifted course. Floods reshaped valleys. Coastlines of the Persian Gulf expanded. What was once fertile may now lie beneath layers of mud, salt, and sea. The garden may literally be buried. But perhaps Eden was meant to be hidden, because Eden was never just about geography. It was about presence. It was about walking with God. And that presence cannot be mapped with GPS coordinates. Yet, echoes of Eden resound throughout history. The tabernacle of Israel, with its cherubim guarding the holy place, resembled the guarded entrance to Eden. The temple in Jerusalem was decorated with palm trees, flowers, and flowing water, images of paradise. Prophets spoke of a future day when deserts would bloom, rivers would flow in dry lands, and creation would be restored. The human heart has never stopped longing for Eden. Then came another garden, the Garden of Gethsemane. There, under the olive trees, another Adam, Jesus, prayed in agony. Where the first Adam disobeyed in Eden, Jesus submitted, "Not my will, but yours be done." From that garden, he went to a cross, a tree of death that became for us a tree of life. Thorns, the symbol of Eden's curse, pierced his brow, and when he died, the veil in the temple was torn, the barrier back to God's presence was broken. Eden's promise was beginning to be restored. The Bible's final book, Revelation, gives us the last glimpse of Eden. John describes a river, clear as crystal, flowing from the throne of God. On each side grows the tree of life, bearing fruit in every season. And he writes these words, "No longer will there be any curse." The story comes full circle, from a lost garden to a restored creation, from exile to homecoming, from longing to fulfillment. So, where is Eden? Some say beneath the waters of the Persian Gulf. Others place it in Armenia or Iran or even Africa. But maybe the real question is not where Eden was, but why Eden matters. Eden is the ache in every human soul. It is why we long for peace, beauty, and wholeness. It is why no matter how much progress we make, we feel something is missing. It is why gardens, rivers, and mountains still stir something deep inside us. We were made for Eden. We were cast out of Eden. But the story of Scripture is that Eden is not lost forever. The way back is open, not through a guarded gate, but through an open invitation. Perhaps the rivers still whisper its name beneath the sands. Perhaps the earth itself remembers. But whether hidden beneath soil or sea, the true Eden is not behind us. It is before us, in the promise of renewal, in the hope of restoration, and in the presence of God drawing near again. Eden was our beginning. Eden is our destiny, and the rivers of history still flow toward that promise.